Hi, everyone. Welcome to season 3, episode 4 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that's shooting for a hole in one, but it always ends up getting the max number of strokes allowed. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Luvva Luvva, and with me are my co hosts.
Hey, Mr. Luvva, Cardinal here, and nice job in the intro. A real hole-in-one job there. Potted it nicely, straight and true. Good to see you.
Absolutely par for the course, as always. Tomahawk here. Good to be back.
Yeah, and just for the record, gentlemen, I do no longer wish to go by Mr. Luvva Luvva. I want to go by Mr. Seven in a Row. Okay,
No.
that is my new name.
Oh, rejected. Admired, but rejected.
Okay, but for our first time listeners, what is High Scores, High Stakes? High Scores, High Stakes are four friends competing with one another in PlayStation game challenges. Every week we pick a new game, we play a new challenge, and we compete in a league table. The winner gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point, and last place gets no points. Last week we played Bulletstorm, and the league table at the end of play last week is as follows. In fourth place in the league is Cardinal with 2 points. Third place in the league is Sherry with 4 points. Second place in the league is Tomahawk
This
with
guy.
8 points. But running away with it, leading the way, as I said to start, 7 wins in a row. It is myself with 11 points. And yeah, 7 wins in a row, boys. What are you going to do about this? You have to do something. I can't win every. Well, I can win every week, and I have been for the last 7. But surely you're going to have something in place to stop me.
Well, th- it is going to be a case of a bit of collusion, I think, but I think we're getting ahead of ourselves on that one there. But I'm just thinking, love it. There's a few things that come before the fall. The fall is coming. Let's just say that.
The
Well,
pride is mighty.
we're barely into spring, but Tomahawk is right. The fall will come eventually, probably October time.
Puts us in the middle of season 4, I think, at that rate.
and like
Oh, this is my favorite puncast.
and like the seasons, things are ever changing. But do you know what never changes? How you find us on all over the internet on social media. And the easiest way to do that is go to highscoreshighstakes.com. There you will see a whole load of links for all of our social medias. You'll see links for Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. If you want to join in the Discord, as we said last week, we have started a community group for Helldivers 2. If you want to go to Discord, head to highscoreshighstakes.com or check the description of this podcast episode. The link is there. Just click it, sign up, throw in your PSN or your Steam ID, and play with us and other members of the community. It is nice and easy how to find us all over the internet, so please make sure you do. If you're listening to this and you like what we're doing, please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and if you think you have mates who would like the podcast, tell them about it. Spread the word. Let's make this
Five
community
stars.
let's make this community bigger. And as Tom says, if you want to leave a review, 5 stars. um, Last week we had question of the week, and the question of
Ooh.
the week was because we played Bulletstorm, which is a double A first person shooter. For those of you who are unaware, double A means that they don't have a massive budget and they were never meant to be a tentpole franchise. We got 2 answers to that question of the week, gentlemen. One of them was from Mr. J, I think is
It's
gamer
a
tag
web handle.
is.
Yes, yes.
Yep, and he says Modern Warfare 2. I don't think he understood the assignment because Modern Warfare 2 is, of course, a triple A first person
Definitely a
shooter
triple A.
that cost £50 million to make in the 360 era. It's a lot of money. However, our very own Mr. John Sherry, he's not here. He doesn't make the recordings, but he's still taking part in the podcast. And he says home front. And any other answers are wrong.
It's a really good answer, that being said.
Is it? Homefront was awful.
Homefront 1 was good. Homefront The Resistance was pretty not good.
Both of them were pretty
Setting the
poor.
fence, guys.
So, since Sherry has said that any other answers are wrong, Cardinal, tell me your wrong answer. What is your favorite mid budget first person shooter from the PlayStation 3 360 era? I will accept
Uh,
Haze as an answer.
Is resistance full of ban an answer?
It is an answer. I don't know if it meets the criteria of a double A rather than a triple A. Though that's the only problem here. You're like
Red
Mr.
Faction was PS2, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I'll accept it because it got re-released in the PlayStation 3, I think. So we'll accept it. We will accept that
Red
answer.
Faction.
It wasn't a good first-person shooter either. The
It was just it was blown up because you could shoot through walls.
the Geomod
But
engine, I think it was called, was really, really, really impressive. And Tomahawk, please tell me you have a better answer than Cardinal just pulling one out of
So
the air.
that's it. So as we were discussing this off record as well, I did have one, and this had to go to committee. I originally had said Bioshock because
I
I
said
was just
no.
like, yeah, you did say no. So I dove into the recesses of what is a very limited knowledge of my FPSs, and I landed on Metro 2033.
Ooh, that is a decent one to be fair.
And as I did a bit of looking into it, it has scored pretty,
It did really, really, really well. Yeah.
low to mid 80s, but it's done that consistently over the trilogy as well. So I think it's pretty much bog standard double A. It was neither here nor there in terms of budget as well, but
Mhm.
it was one that was adapted off a half decent book at the time, and they've just kind of grown legs and ran with it. But I remember it took me a while to kind of get into it. Difficulty spikes were there, but when you actually put the grind in, it ended up being pretty decent actually.
Yeah, it's actually a game I own on PlayStation. I own on Steam. I think I also bought it on Xbox. I've never played it.
Incredible. No, part one's really, really good, and it's one of those ones that gives you like a good ending, a bad ending, and the worst ending.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when they release Last Light, it's like, oh, we went off the good ending. So they give you three endings, but one is canonically correct. So
Yeah.
and then not Last Light, Exodus, I haven't gone near yet.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. I think my answer for this last week was Left 4 Dead 2. Sticking with Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 is an absolutely superb shooter. So it is. However, just for the sake of variety, I'm also going to throw out there Turning Point Fall of Liberty,
Of course you are.
which is an awful first person shooter, but why not? It's a talking point. Tell me why I'm wrong on Twitter or anywhere you want. But yeah, Turning Point Fall of Liberty. For those of you who don't
he's
know what
fishing. He's fishing for a reaction, guys. Don't pull it.
No, don't
Don't take the bait.
don't rise to it.
it's called Farming for Engagement. I'm talking Farming for Engagement. We also had a poll of the week last week. and, and poll of the week was which of these first person shooters is the GOAT? Now, I wasn't asking which of these first person shooters takes place in a farmyard. I was asking, of course, which one is the greatest of all time. And the options
Similar.
were Halo, Call of Duty, Destiny for some reason, and Battlefield. And we have a definitive result. We don't have to give it the high scores, high stakes tiebreaker this week. The winner is Call of Duty. Call of Duty won
Yeah.
2-1. Halo was the only other one that got a vote. 2-1 to Call of Duty. Do we agree with that? I know I don't.
I mean,
So what's the scenario? It's the series.
Yes, the series as a whole. Which one's better? It's
I
Halo.
think a lot of
First-person
people
shooters.
go for Call of Duty on. It's not so much recency bias, but it's just sheer longevity. Like it's every year there's a new
Yeah.
iteration now, and
Well,
they're
yeah.
just they're at the point of rebooting everything, and then with Warzone, it just is this incredible. I say an incredible community. It's just this massive community. I
It's
suppose.
massive, yeah. It's huge. Everyone
Whereas
I know
Halo
plays.
kind of just finished, really.
Halo's still going, mate. There was a Halo game 2 years ago. Halo
Really?
Infinite. Halo Infinite. Halo
Okay.
Infinite. Yes, there's been a Halo game every other year since 2001. I'm going Halo because I think if you take there's been more Call of Duties, but there's been awful Call of Duties.
Oh yeah.
I'm struggling to think of a single Halo game that's bad, let alone awful.
I really like the Halo series. To be fair, like I more sort of 3 and Halo Reach is in my scope at the minute, but
Mhm.
they're a more memorable story than than a Call of Duty would be, which is a point and shoot essentially.
Yeah, but
Let me tell you where I stand on this.
Let's go,
The best
Cardinal.
game and shooting series is Unreal Tournament. And the reason why it doesn't get acknowledged nowadays is because Epic Store have delisted it for years. Won't remaster it, won't release it to purchase anywhere.
And
So they just let it die because they want their Fortnite to be everything and all.
has there been an Unreal tournament since 2007?
There was multiple Unreal tournaments, but
Yeah.
but we're not categorizing it by longevity.
No, we're
saying
not.
what's
We're
the
not.
best.
We're not. But it's Halo.
So
It's Halo. Halo was
yeah,
without Halo,
no,
you wouldn't have Call of Duty on consoles. It
I don't
revolutionized
care because I'm playing Unreal Tournament.
Cardinal's
Yes,
living in
and
the past.
you play Unreal Tournament on the Sega Dreamcast. The only way to play Unreal Tournament. Right. So let's push on past this. So I think we can all agree it's Halo. And the poll is incorrect. Once again, incorrect. One day the poll will get it right. Next week, I'm going to put a poll question up and it's like, what does Luvva think is this? But yes, there will be a question of the week and a poll of the week for this episode as well. But as always, we'll let you know what they are at the very end. So there's no big long wait for you to scroll down and type and vote. So stick around for the question of the week this week, which brings us on then. We have done everything. This is record breaking time, so it is. Which brings us on to Cardinal. Please. I am so curious right now. What are you playing?
Fantastic. What am I playing? Luvva. Oh, sorry, Mr. Seven Time. I am playing.
Just don't give him the satisfaction, please. That's what annoys me about that the most.
You know that movie, the old musical Seven Brides for Seven Brothers? They're
Yes.
making a,
Seven
they're
brides for
making
seven
this,
lovers.
they're making a sequel to that. It's called Seven
Oh my
Brides for Seven Brothers, 7 times in a row. But anyway, Cardinal,
Yeah.
what are you playing, mate?
Well, anyway, if I'm sticking to PlayStation, I have tried to go cold turkey on Civilization
Ooh.
to just to stay away from it. But unfortunately, I'm back to Gran Turismo because they've got weekly challenges.
do.
So
Oh, incredible.
I need to earn my tickets and tokens and money.
And get your smallest pile of money in the roulette wheel every single day.
The prize this week was a roulette wheel of just cars.
Ooh, so you won
Nice.
a Fiat Panda.
I won a Le Mans Porsche car, but
Ooh,
it was all right for once.
that's not
These
bad.
weekly challenges, man, these are it.
That's it. Play the weekly challenges in Gran Turismo 7, beat Cardinal's time, and get a better car than him. That's what I'm hearing. It shouldn't be too hard. I've seen his
That's all he
times
does.
Worth a shot.
on
Luvva
GT7.
just scopes the friend leaderboard and then goes, what
I
can I beat
know.
people in today?
Exactly. The first thing I do when I log into most games is like, how's he done? Can I beat that score? And if I can't, then I'd pretend I never even tried.
Always blurring the lines between competitive podcasting and just being a sore winner.
Do you remember the Fast Show? You had that sketch about the competitive dad who would beat his kids and everything. That's me.
Exactly. I'm not surprised.
It is not a game. So Gran Turismo 7. Anything else, Cardinal?
That's it.
That's it.
Completed the weekly challenge, so completed it.
Beautiful. And I got a
Excellent
Porsche
stuff.
GT. And Tomahawk then, tell me, what are you playing?
So I'm really, really trying to not say that I've been playing Helldivers 2 because I think we could exhaust that for a third week in a row, really. So I won't. What I will say is I
Boo.
finished Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Ooh, and you thought it was the
Ooh.
greatest game of all time, 10 out of 10, but play again?
I probably won't play it again. I might play Mercenary mode again. I was saying about this to you in chat a couple of days ago, actually. It just hit a point in the game, it hit a plateau. It was at the little tiny Spanish man. His name escapes me.
The little tiny Spanish man. Hello, Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy, yes. his boss difficulty spike just killed all enjoyment of that game, everything beyond that. So I was really enjoying it till that point, and then afterwards, I was just like, by the time I did beat him as the boss, I just went, all right, so I guess I'm just finishing this game with no enjoyment,
You're
really.
going to the island.
That whole section actually just was awful.
It is the
Uh,
worst section in the original game.
yeah, like Resident Evil has that very clear blueprint. You go through the main sections, you loop around, and you kind of figure everything out, and then it always takes you to an external section from the main map, and then it'll always take you to a laboratory type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this time round, it's get a speedboat to the island, and then the whole. I don't remember it in the original, but it's the playback where the helicopter gives you support fire throughout
Oh yeah,
most
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah. Yep,
island.
yep.
I didn't remember that. That was actually quite fun, but only for the fact that it just mowed down all of the Plagas villagers in like one hit. But it just kind of fell flat in that last third of the game, really. And by the time I finished it, I was just like, oh, look, Sadler's just a giant creature with eyes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then end credits, the end. And I was just like, actually, I couldn't have deleted it quicker enough. Sadly, it's just something really about it just didn't sit right with me for
Okay,
the
fair
whole
enough.
game.
The island is the worst part of the first game. I know for the remake they redesigned a lot of it and tried to make it more appealing to players, but it is the worst part of the
It
original
did the
game.
thing that Resident Evil kind of does let itself down for. They build it up with quite good story, and they give you a whole section of just, oh, by the way, we're an action shooter now.
Well, yeah, it's the power fantasy, isn't it? You spent most of the game struggling, so they always give you like the last couple of hours just to get your revenge on everything,
Yeah, yeah.
everyone that moves. It's always been the way. It's always been the way. It's just the anime thing of let's have a hero struggle, and then at the end the hero becomes the most powerful thing on.
Well,
In the
that's it. Yeah. So we've passed that. We've ticked it off. I'm not disappointed that it's there. I'm glad that it's done and dusted because it is a lovely looking game the whole way through it. I actually thought it's one of the best looking games I've played in the longest time,
Mhm,
actually.
mhm.
So now that Resident Evil chapter can be closed, and Resident Evil 5 will be getting kicked off shortly.
Ooh, the
So
much maligned Resident Evil 5. It's a great game.
it's a boulder puncher. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
It's a great game. Resident Evil 5 is not get the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
It took the formula Resident Evil 4 and just tightened it up in the right spots. Has its weak moments too, but no, it's good. It's a good game. Really good fun.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I've played like 4 or 5 times.
Other
now.
than that, I've been spamming the Twitch with Ghost of Tsushima at the minute as well. So we're
Yeah.
sort of taking that story every 90-minute segments, really.
One step at a time is how we do
And
it.
you can check out those Twitch recordings on Twitch, but also over on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Incredible.
You
The
love
one
it.
thing I will say about going from Bloodborne to Ghosts is there's not an awful lot of me falling off stuff and me throwing wobblies at bosses. So in terms of content and entertainment value, massive massive difference between Bloodborne and Ghost.
Also, massive improvement to your mental health, though.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Plus, with Resident Evil 5, you can get revenge on the boulders that give you nightmares in Bloodborne. Which
If I see a boulder again, it's too soon.
it's getting punched right in the face. Which brings me to me then. And what am I playing?
What are you playing?
Ooh.
My goodness gracious me. Finally someone has done it. Yes. Again, like Tom, I've been playing games I've talked about in the last few weeks. I've been playing lots and lots of Helldivers. And I have still been playing the Tomb Raider remaster. Still Tomb Raider 1. I am almost through Greece. I think I'm on the last level of Greece now. Yeah, it's still great. Still great. A bit the controls demand that you learn them, and yeah, I've been trying to play it a bit more smoothly because the game demands it of you. But yeah, really good game, really enjoying it. But I've talked about it a good few times now in the podcast. So without me boring the listeners with more Tomb Raider thoughts, I
Well,
thought,
wait, just before you cut it there, there's a dinosaur, isn't there?
oh yeah, the dinosaurs improves the third level in the game. But yeah, he's long dead. If you want to see
He's all
pictures of
dead.
me doing big game hunter type photos with a T-Rex, there's maybe a photo on Twitter, sorry, of me sitting atop the T-Rex with a big smile on my face. It's beautiful things to see. An endangered species
Brutal.
they weren't endangered enough. And that's what I said. And I blasted it down with my dual pistols.
He's fishing. He's fishing for bait again for
He-
views and clicks.
the dinosaurs are gone now, which means that
You made sure of that.
we must also go, but we're not leaving just yet. We're going to go to the challenge game, which this week is golf with your friends. And what we're doing is we have picked a random course and we are going to play a full 18 holes and we are going to do the normal. Winner gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point, and last place gets 0 points. But just to spice it up and give these boys a bit of a chance in the league table because I'm running away with it, every hole in one gets you 1 bonus point. So if you're particularly good at golfing with your friends, you could be on for 18 bonus points here. But less of that and more of the gameplay. Let's get there now. So here we are. The challenge game for this week, golf with your friends. We're going to do what we always do, gentlemen. Talk to me about golfing with your friends. Have you any history with this game, mate?
I've never played it on the PlayStation, but I do admittedly have played it quite a lot on Steam. Okay.
Yep.
On a few occasions with some people.
And how do you like it? Do you like it or do you
that's what
not like it? That's the question.
I love it. I think it's a great party game. I think anyone can pick it up. I've even put it on at home with wife
Okay.
and played it for a bit. It's fun. You enjoy it.
It is good crack. It is good crack. What about you, Tomahawk, mate?
So, the avid listener will remember that we, myself and yourself, Luvva, we had Randy Raichu on the podcast. We had a wee friendly game of this.
Yes.
Very game. I did enjoy it. As Cardinal said, it's a good party game. It's easy to pick up. It is a little bit trigger sensitive, we'll say, with some of the controls, but
Yes.
all in all, very little experience. I think we played it once or twice for the podcast, and again as a little make sure everything is indeed and good to go for this season. But you can't go wrong with mini golf really in any form of it, I suppose.
Yeah, and the same. I had never heard of it until Randy Raichu had said, "Here, I want to play golf with your friends against you boys for the podcast," and then we sent them pack. Well, you sent them packing. I think I came last that week because of the aforementioned controls of this game. But no, it's a very, very, very fun game with your friends. Ironically enough, it's almost as if it's in the title. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We've picked a random course, and it has chosen Twilight for us. So without any more further ado, Cardinal, if you would be so kind as to hit that play button, sir. We'll see how
It
this
would be
all
a
played
pleasure.
out.
Let's get right into it with hole number 1.
Hole number 1, always the easiest hole. It likes to start you off nice and easy before it absolutely destroys you and your friendship with everyone you're currently playing with.
Oh,
I
God,
think
absolutely.
we do need to add the big difference between this game and when we play with Randy Raichu is that collision is on here. So we can knock each other's golf ball away from the hole, or we can play interference, or we can inadvertently hit each other's ball into the hole for one another, which nearly happened a couple of occasions.
That's it. No, I haven't had a good start here. I tried to play a bit overly safe, and I've ended up on a double bogey. So I've missed my lineups, and then I've just kind of plotted it back and forth there to drop it home, basically.
Yeah, and as you can see there, after hole 1, everyone's on 3 strokes except for Tom, who is on 4. Now this one, the second hole, it looks like the hole is on top of a little hill. Me and Cardinal go for the direct route of trying to get up the hill. It turns out
It's too inviting not to try it.
it's a tricksy little devil because the hole is not on top of that hill. It is underneath said hill. And Tomahawk figured that out brave and
Oh,
quick.
Tomahawk. Yeah.
and then doesn't tell anybody about it.
Fails to act on it. This is one of the handy things about like going back and actually playing through some of the mission, like some of the levels, and getting a feel for the courses. But like, as I say, the power meter is quite. I don't want to say sensitive. It just seems to pick and choose at random intervals when too powerful is too powerful and too soft is too soft.
Yes, it's very hard to tell what sort is going to happen, even if you do two shots with a pretty identical strengths. The ball acts completely different way sometimes because it's purely physics based, and it is a bit infuriating. But me and Cardinal here are still trying to get up the hill, and I think we've both realized here. Oh, hold on a minute, you don't actually have to do that.
Yeah.
You can just go
Well,
around.
while we were playing it, Tom's like,
They're not
they
spinning
haven't
the
noticed
camera.
yet. Oh yeah, there's a free view camera. And it's
Yeah.
like we should look at that.
Yeah, so after hole two, Sherry is leading the way with 3 strokes. Tomahawk is on 4, and me and Cardinal are on 7. So, or yeah, 7 strokes for that hole. It's anyone's game. I think is the
Oh, that's
polite
it.
way
Like
of saying it.
you can't bank it on the first couple of holes. You can't run away with this really.
No, there's too
Uh,
much golf to play, and there's too much that can go wrong.
no,
So
I
it
went into
Yeah.
is.
that shot very quickly. I just thought Lovers and Cardinals, little icons there, and I thought, no, I'm gonna just book it, get that hole finished as quick as possible.
Yeah,
I don't
and
want any collision to be paying off here.
we are
Hole
all
3 ends on everybody on 2, trying to avoid getting bumped off by each other.
yeah. And then this hole then was very, very simple. Actually, I actually thought this one was easier than the first hole, just because it was so clear what you had to do. Because the hole is literally just right in front. It's just on top of a little awkward hill, but I mean, it's relatively straightforward. Go round a corner and then go up a hill, pot the ball, and
I'm
that is it.
genuinely look at this, going, why have I not moved? And I remembered I just like ran away from the controller for a minute because I had to deal with stuff outside of
Yes,
the
you had to go do
podcast world.
something, and it's one of those games we can't pause it to stop a timer. Every hole has a 2-minute timer, isn't it? And if
Yes.
Thereabouts, yeah.
and if you don't finish before the timer elapses, then you give up the full. You scratch that hole, which means you finish it in 14 strokes.
That 14 strokes is a killer as well.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
It's a lot to make up. And
Not
thank goodness
yeah.
I hit par there because it was a real struggle.
Yeah, so right now, after 4 holes, I'm last on 15. Cardinals third on 15. Tomahawk is second on 13. And Sherry still leading the way, 11 strokes over par. Sherry is leading in a game on the High Scores, High Stakes podcast. That is the first of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Surely that is
Oh,
on the.
this is a tricky hole. I remember this is the one with like it's like the hole in the middle, but it's a
Yeah.
blind dip
It's all
to
on a
another
dip.
hole if you're not careful. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dip. The hole is sitting on top of a hill, but there is a well directly underneath it. So if you miss the hole, you're going to fall into the well and you're going to lose a stroke. It's not easy. I sort of try to feather my ball in and then wind up on the wrong side of the hole in the ground, the well, and then just think I'm going to jump it and finish off on a double bogey with 5 strokes.
And I see
I
them
know,
do
I'm
this right
sitting.
in front of me, and I do the same.
Yep.
With the exact same result.
There
And
is
I'm
Apparently
sitting
that was the way.
on 7 strokes at the minute, and I'm thinking, "Oh, I don't know. No, this could be. I think this is the first hole where I thought to myself, "Oh, I'm
what a
what a
probably."
shot that is.
I genuinely still was
Save
looking
it.
at that, going like, I think this is where everyone starts to pull away because if everyone just hits par, then that 5 shots over par is basically just snookered me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, this was a
but
difficult hole.
watching Sherry was near torturous at this point because I felt so bad.
Oh, he was so close.
He does get really close to in this here a couple of occasions and just sort of kisses around the hole, but I don't think he sinks it. He's got 1 second left here. He's not gonna sink it, and he came close again. It is like a hair's breadth away from potting there, but But yeah,
He hits
so
the dreaded 14.
so right now the league is turned completely around. Me and Cardinal are joint first on 20 over par. Tomahawk's on 21 over par. Mr. John Sherry is 25 over par because, of course, he didn't finish the hole there, so he concedes 14 shots. Absolutely brutal. However, one thing I will say is when you are going to time out, the message on the thing says +2 strokes, which is misleading because I thought, oh, if you just finish, if you have 3 shots, don't finish, then you're going to end up on 5. That is not the case, of course. But this hole was very confusing. There's no clear path to where the hole is, and I got completely confused. But what I don't do is panic. I try to find the route to the hole.
It did make me laugh because just where you set off from, the little drop behind you, I just nodded my shot off into that corner, and then all I hear is love launch going head off the course. But my one just rolls down the hill and ends up at the. So I finished this hole for par.
Yep.
But Luvva's, playing it safe, fair enough, but has gone the long way around to do so.
But it was a great shot, so it was an absolutely
It was.
great shot to get me to the hole. Because I still wasn't sure where the hole was, to be fair, and the collision has cost me there because I hit the flagpole, and then bounces me out. So right now, at the end of 6 holes, Cardinals on 23 and first, Tomahawk's second on 24, I'm third on 25, and Sherry is last on 28. But before we go any further with golf with your friends, I thought what we could do is give the mic to Cardinal Smith, the host with the most, and he's going to ask me and Tomahawk to try to name that game. So let's get there now.
Okay, thank you very much, Luvva. And this is Name That Game. You know how it works. I read out an Amazon review like you did last season.
Mm-hmm.
Except this time, Tomahawk and Luvva will try and guess what it is, and the listeners at home from the review. Now, if you get it, you get a point. And currently, the league table looks like this: Luvva, 3 points. Tomahawk, 2 points. It's sequential that way. They've earned points. One has more points than the other. Let's see if this changes things up a little. Gentlemen,
It's all about narrative. That's it.
That's it. That is it.
that's it. Your first Amazon review is as such: people who have played this game before. For the people returning to the game, you may want to pass. The updates to the game are not really worth it if you've already played it before. If you had this on the PS3 or 360, you may enjoy it due to the FPS improvements, but to pay £30 to replay again? Up to you. As PC players have better mods and the game looks even better than the remaster, I would also pass. The mods, they just look better. It's a shame since a lot of more graphically could have been done to make PC players want to ditch the mods and get this remaster. So it's not breathtaking. Some areas look great, however, but some just don't look any different. So for that reason, maybe stick to your modded version. I'll add a little extra. For those who haven't played this before, this is the perfect time to jump in. The community is alive as it's ever been, and you can finally see why this game is considered the best of these games. Gentlemen, what game am I talking about?
Skyrim.
No.
Just for some reason, Doom. I'm gravitating to Doom, but I have no edition of that now, so I'm just going to say Doom as a whole.
I would highlight a few points in that it sounds like it was originally out in the PS3 and 360.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I said Skyrim.
That's a good shout. Okay, so let's go to a bit of information. You know what? I'll just read more of the review because it's 8 paragraphs long.
There's more?
There's more. It's an absolute essay. The game is super great and super hard and super rewarding. The gameplay feels great once you get used to it, and the level design is amazing. The story is very deep and lore heavy, but you don't really have to understand what's going on in order to enjoy the game. However, if you do get into the lore, say goodbye to your loved ones because that stuff is deep.
Dark Souls.
Is it Fallout New Vegas?
I'm going to give the point to Luvva
It's Dark
because
Souls
it is a
remastered.
Dark Souls remastered.
Mhm.
Fair play.
Boom.
Well done. We'll
Streak.
give it away for you.
The
Uh,
lore.
I was torn between Skyrim and Dark Souls, to be honest. And then just when he said about the lore, I was like, yeah, it's Dark Souls. It's
The
Dark
first
Souls.
person element I thought was a bit of
Well,
a.
doesn't mention first person.
I didn't say first person, yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely thought you said first person element or first person shooter element or something.
I can't
was like-
help but feel Tom would do better in Name That Game if he just listened to the review.
Yeah, you would think. You would
You-
think.
You do tend to add to the reviews that you're hearing. Right, so here we are back at Golf with your friends, and we're going to do the middle 6 holes here. Right now, the state of play is Cardinal Smith is in the lead with 23 strokes over par. Tomahawk is second with 24 over par. I'm in third, 25 over par. And Sherry is in last place, 28 over par. It is the situation, as they would say in Sky Sports on a Super Sunday. You could throw a blanket over us. We're so close together. But let's not hang about with where we were. Let's see where we're going to head with this game. Let's see what these next 6 holes have to bring for us. Because if one thing I can be sure of, it's not going to be a dull walk in a golf course on a Sunday afternoon. So let's see. Let's hit that play button, Cardinal.
Let's tee off.
Let's go. So hole number 7 then. And hole number 7 is just looking at what looks like 2 tree trunks in a figurative 8 of the border.
Pretty
around
much. I like how Sherry just went
That
for the
works.
full send approach. Luvva, you were a bit more methodical there with the free cam option at the start, just to
Yeah.
kind of get a feel for it. But everyone's kind of nailing this one pretty handily. I mean, there's not very many difficult elements in this hole now.
Yeah, no,
Cardinal come off with a bogey there.
It's not the
Yeah.
most difficult hole, and it's done nothing for the leaderboard. Cardinal and Tomahawk are tied in 27 over par. I'm on 28 over par, and Sherry is on 30 over par. So there's been no move in the table, because that hole, to be fair to it, isn't the most complex nor the most difficult. But yeah, I started using the free cam after hole 6 because hole 6 was very, very, very confusing where you actually have to go. So I think from now on, you'll see me moving the camera so I can see where the hole is at the start, so I can make my
Yeah.
plan.
And could we just point
And
out
that's
there
all
that
very interesting, but I just got a hole in one.
You
it
did.
did.
I-
It was an absolutely beautiful shot as well, and it just
Yeah.
you dropped onto that top ledge, and then the gravity physics kicked in, and it was just enough to take you over the
As they
threshold
should.
there. That was a beautiful, beautiful shot.
Yep, and it's bought you some
Essentially, I just smashed it down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The gods blessed it. But
It's bought you some daylight at the top. You're now top with 28 strokes over par, but you are 3 ahead of Tomahawk, or me in second because I did it in 3 shots. Tomahawk did it in I think 7 there. Tom wasn't it?
7 there, yeah. It was. It wasn't a good showing in
No,
that
not
hole.
at all. Not at all. But here we are. I'm on my 3rd shot. I'm looking to sink to try to regain some ground on Cardinal. And while I haven't gained any shots, I didn't lose any because I finished it in par. And Cardinal just gets the luckiest thing I've ever seen in a video game. Overcooks his shot, hits some of the scenery, bounces back in. It is ridiculous.
it's unbelievable.
And it's clearly wall
know.
hacks.
Even
And you
on
can
my
see
last
from my
shot,
You can see from my point of view, I didn't even see there was a thing to bounce off there. I thought it'd gone out of bounds.
No, pure luck.
And
Pure
it
luck.
bounces my ball back
Oh,
into
that's
the
it.
deep
It
end
just
for you.
happens, like, and you sometimes you get a wee winner there, and it just sickens your other players, like. But
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it happened to me. I brought myself over that that drop, but I ricocheted off, and there's only one small section of that last hole where it actually like has a drop and falls me off the map there, and it just kills my momentum basically. But this is a lovely wee hole as well. Like you just have to fall in the water, and the
Let the water
current will
take
take
you.
you to
Hmm
the next section.
The
But it
music as
does look
well
like
on this course was really calm and really quite relaxing. It's a really nice golf course to play on. It was really good. A
so
bit
I've just come off with
frustrating.
a par
I,
there.
and I didn't know that you could just go in the water. And I was about to score a hole in two,
But
and Sherry,
me,
oh,
You
Luvva,
and Lover.
sorry,
yeah,
smashes me away.
yep, cost him a shot. How about that? You like that, do you? You remember the
So
name,
this was a
Mister
laugh.
Seven in a Row.
Me and Cardinal played a bit of a practice beforehand and had a wee look
Oh,
and just kind of
did
just we were
you
chatting.
indeed?
We are chatting and
That's
waiting
Oh,
for
intriguing.
everyone to join the lobby, basically.
go for it.
And we turned on the
Go for
collision
it.
to have a look at it. And at the time, the collision was quite negligible. Really, I don't feel as if we
Tame.
got much.
Yeah,
I don't think we
it
got much out of it, but it seems to come
We
up.
didn't get much friction off each other.
That's it. But it seems
it
now in like the full lobby, we're benefiting or losing out because of it now. So interesting.
Yep, and Tomahawk just knocked me into another hole to get me a wee bit further in the course. Thank you very much for that, Tomahawk. Yeah,
No
no,
problem at all.
the contact seems to be a lot more pronounced when both balls are moving. If hello, if one of the balls is stationary, it doesn't really do that much. But yeah,
Yeah.
it can
It
just
seems to
ping you
pick and
around.
choose it picks and chooses its moments. Like, because I know that there's other levels, like a space level and a jungle level, and pirates and stuff like that as well. So I
Yep.
think that like I think it'll benefit you in certain arenas, but other arenas it can be a massive hindrance. I'd say like the
Yes.
space mission, the space level, I would say would be a huge hindrance if a collision was on.
Yep. Yep.
I
So I've done pretty well in
totally
that one.
misjudged this.
I have finished that in 2 strokes. So the league table is Cardinals top with 37. I'm second on 41. Sherry's third and 45. And Tomahawk's last with 47. Again, not a massive amount between us, and it can go any way. But now we have hole number 12. And would you, Adam and Eve it? I just went and got myself a hole in one, and I bagged myself one bonus point. So yeah,
Point in the bag.
point in the
Lovely
bag.
shot. It was a lovely shot as well. But I know it is relying on a bit of luck there as well because you have to sort of ping yourself through and hope that you hit
I shot right through
that
the middle
middle
and
section.
didn't touch any of the pegs. Straight on through. Cardinal got
Serious.
lucky because Cardinal just got a hole in one too by pinging around the
I,
place. But yeah, I
I
aimed
tried to go. I just would try to go to the side and let the gods decide.
and they decided all right and decided in your favor as well. No, I went right through the
Uh,
middle, didn't touch a single peg. Hole number what hole is
I think
this?
this is
13?
hole number 13 now, yes.
Yeah. Right, we'll go to name my game after hole number 13 then. So we will, because it's near done. I am just about to line up my final shot, hopefully, and finish on par, which is 3.
And
Cardinal.
Sherry hits
Sherry
a
coming in with
couple over
6
on 6.
strokes. I've hit a double bogey on that one as well. And Cardinal with a quite a aggressively heavy shot there,
Yep, not like him
but
because
lines it up. Yeah.
he's been quite composed. So we'll pause it here, Cardinal, then, because everyone's finished. After 13 holes rather than 12, because we are dreadful at our jobs. Um, the table for golf with friends is Cardinals in the lead with 41. I'm second with 45. Sherry is third with 53. And starting to fall behind now is Tomahawk with 55. So Tomahawk is 14 strokes off the first place.
The wheels
Um,
very much started to come off. I think for my challenge at this point, I think I started to lose all fun in this game, thinking, well, that's it. 0 points for Tomahawk this week.
yeah, I mean, there's still what 5 holes left to play. Like there's a lot of golf still to do, a lot of things that could go right for you or wrong for
And
someone
one
else.
timeout or one messed up hole
That,
costs
that's it, yeah.
14.
And that's it. It's still all to play for, even though at that point in time you don't know how it's going to play out, so you make decisions based on your game. And I think we'll start seeing some strategy or strategies be employed or try to be employed in order to maintain position in the table here. But before we get into the final 5 holes, I think we do need to go back to name that game. So we'll go there now. Right, Cardinal. Game number 2 then, mate. Game number 2.
Let's have a dive into this one. Much shorter review. This is one of the most unique games I've played to date, and graphically it's beautiful. The artwork is simply chef's kiss. Not very long, but enjoyable while it lasted. I've heard that before. It plays smoothly and at a steady pace. Exploration is nice, but somewhat restricted. The soundtrack is very good. It's a shame they didn't have a digital download to go along with the cards. There isn't much replay value to it unless you're going for achievements.
I'm
which
going
should
to cut
only
you off
take-
here. It's Stray.
Whoa, we have a first time review interruption.
I think it's against the rules.
I think I find there are no rules. And also, can you tell me I'm right before I tell you why I know I'm right?
It is absolutely Stray. Tomahawk, you
Because
get the point.
Tomahawk wrote that review on Amazon.
No, it's a lot less interesting than that. If you cast your mind back to season 2, Mr. Done that exact review. So
all I'm going to say is when I hosted this show, it was please don't interrupt me during the review. Let me finish before you make guesses. So I think
Cardinal
that
hasn't
we
stipulated
can-
that, so
we can
therefore
bin
I'm.
that point. I think Cardinal. I think it's the only fair thing to do. Well, name that game's exciting, isn't it? One apiece, and a review that has been read in the previous season being read again. Well remembered, Tomahawk,
Outstanding.
even though that point should not count, but here we are. But yeah, we are exactly where we left it. Cardinal in first place. I'm in second place. Sherry is in third place. And Tomahawk's in fourth. Before we get going with the last 5 holes, I can't think of a time other than Call of Duty where Sherry has spent so much time off the foot of the leaderboard.
That's it. No, he's been very. I think because he just comes in, does challenges. He'll sort of chat via text. He's no nonsense in these sorts of challenges, and I think he just has a lovely wee home. He knows his place in these kind of games. Like
He does. The strong foundation of the
does.
podcast.
But it's games like this, like Fall Guys, he's very good at. But I do remember Quake, the season finale of season 1. He was leading the way
For a very long time.
Long
my
time.
for a
friends.
long time.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Sherry and his first-person shooter love. What a guy. What a guy. But anyway, can he maintain third place? Can Cardinal maintain first place? Can Tomahawk claw it back? Because I am just noticing there, I forgot Sherry scratched out on hole number 5. So even with a 14 deduction, he's still ahead of Tomahawk. It shows you
That's it.
the level of gameplay Tomahawk is showing here. But anyway, let's see how this is going to play out. Cardinal, hit that play button, mate, and let's see. Let's get these last 5 holes, and then we'll discuss what we see. We'll discuss it as we play it as well. Why not? So hole number 6 there, or hole number 6, hole number 14 is a big rotating cylinder. And that's all you can see from the tee-off point. There is a hole at the far end of that cylinder. If you hit the ball through that hole, then you set yourself up for a lovely hole-in-one, perhaps, or a finish in 2, depending on how your ball lays. I have just finished in 3, which is par. So
I almost got through the hole.
I was very close on it as well, but it's you have to kind of get through. The drum has like separate holes in it, then you have to aim it through the back as well. So it is quite a tricky shot to line up, but not impossible.
No, it's definitely possible, but you need to know all that information before you start this hole. Otherwise, you're flying blind into a cylinder. Because I had no idea where that cylinder led, if it led anywhere or anything like that. It's the same as any game. The more you learn the courses, the better you'll perform.
That's it. And I'm just looking at that there. I've just come off for the double bogey there, but that's only because, again, with the what I've described in this several times as the janky power meter.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems to let me down. So like something that I would have done same power output on several other shots are letting me down for the
Yeah.
simplest of strokes, really, and that's what's the excuse I decided to use for the
y- y-
longest part of this challenge.
Yes. This is hole 15. Um, Spoiler alert, it's an absolute disaster for me because I took the wrong way around to the hole, and I'm currently trying to make a jump. Sherry has finished this hole in 3.
Can't believe it. I don't even know how.
Yeah, he went the same way you did, but didn't overbake his first shot.
And that's
So I
right.
did
Me and
it
Lava both went the wrong. We went the long way, thinking it was going to be the
the right
handier of the
way.
routes. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is not the right way to go at all. It takes a lot of shots to get back around to where the hole is. Cardinals just finished it in 2 as well. So
No, I'm still going. I'm on my
third.
third shot now,
Look like you're both
and
finished.
I finished
I'm
it there in 8 strokes.
Yep.
gonna bounce it off the wall here. Try for a 4. Don't succeed. In for 5.
I, on the other hand,
Bogey.
I'm currently on 8
Gets the bogey.
strokes, and I keep
Oh
on
no.
either overshooting or undershooting. So at this point of the game, I'm thinking, right, I saw Sherry finish off the hole. I haven't looked at the scoreboard that closely, and I do remember the message saying, timeout, penalty of 2 strokes. So I was like, well, if I just hold at 8, 2-stroke penalty is 10. That's not going to do me that much damage. So I decided I'm not going to play this hole anymore. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the timeout, and I'll take my 10 strokes. But that is not what happens. But watch the message when it comes up. It does say
Penalty of 2 strokes. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I do see that as well. It's a bizarre ruling on that there as well, but
Yeah.
like it's
So that's
just
cost
poorly
me.
worded.
That's cost me big time. So hole 16, you're literally looking at the roof of a house. You have to get the ball up and over the roof, but not too hard because you want to come down the opposite side and you want to fall into a drain pipe. So that is what I attempt to do. So it is, but we'll see how it
I went
goes.
overly ambitious there. I think I overcooked my shot and fully missed the roof completely, but ended up on the green essentially. So I've hit mine
Yep.
in for par. So I've been quite happy with that result, to be
Yep.
honest.
I, meanwhile, am on the other side of the roof and I have found a drain pipe, but my ball will not drop into the drain pipe. It does now, but the drain pipe is the wrong one and it throws me into an out of bounds. And here is the controversy. When you go out of bounds, this game will place you back where your ball last lay. However, if you look at my screen, gentlemen, it has placed me back to the precise moment my ball falls into that drain pipe, which throws me out of bounds. And it is a death cycle that I can do nothing about. And it means now we have to watch me continuously fall down the same drain pipe for 54 seconds, 1 whole minute, nearly one half of the allotted time you get per hole. And there's nothing I can do about this. You can't disrupt it. You can't reset your ball. You just have to watch it because you can only do all that sort
Oh,
of stuff when it's stationary.
there's
So
something really haunting about watching it on all 4 quadrants. Like,
what
Yes.
what I'm looking at is I've just finished a hole in 14 strokes through a bad choice, but now I'm going to finish my second consecutive hole with 14 strokes through this game, absolutely doing a number on me, and it's going to put me in a very precarious situation here. But yeah,
I've just noticed watching back the footage. It's Sherry that bumps you
no,
almost in towards this.
I bumped him, I bumped him. So I've just finished there. So right now, after 2 consecutive 14s, you wouldn't pause that for me, Cardinal, a wee second. After
Yeah, of course.
two consecutive 14s for me, I have went from second to last. Cardinal is first with 52 strokes over par. Sherry is second with 68 over par. Tomahawk has clawed back some of that lead. He's third at 71, and I am last with 76. So that last hole, that last little thing, has completely and utterly ruined me. Ruined me. And Team
It
17
was
will be
I
here.
think this is
What
a
about this?
perfect segue back to name that game.
Do you want to go there?
I think we've got a third. We've a third game to go.
We do. Let's go there
Yeah.
now then. Yeah, let's go there now.
I think
Go and
so.
name that game.
good point, Tomahawk.
Game number 3, Cardinal. Game number 3, man.
Okay, we're gonna mix it up a little here.
And not the
This
one I've already
is-
done.
Hopefully not. The Last of Us Part 1 is a great game. No, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, here is the game review here. Pros: fun gameplay, varied levels, brilliant music, good presentation for the time. Cons: too easy. Some graphics dated, game too short. 4 stars.
Okay. It's random. It's a really high score that has for a game that has more cons than pros. Read out the pros again, mate.
Fun gameplay, varied levels, brilliant music, and good presentation for the time, which is in contrast to the con that was graphics.
Yeah, Rayman Legends.
Great guess. Not right, but great
Can I have the
guess.
year that this review was written?
As a clue,
You can have a
maybe.
guess, and then I'll give you a clue.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a guess out just randomly. Is it Hi-Fi Rush?
It's not. It's not. And you also can't have the year of the review. You'll get the clues you're given.
I don't like this. I don't like this name that game host this time
You
around.
can't interrupt and expect niceties.
Exactly.
Right, anyway.
The real big's out the window here. Can I have a year? No.
So speaking of year, the initial release of this game was 2001, and it was a single-player video game.
2001. That's a lot of games in
That is a
2001.
lot of games that came out. Gran Turismo 3 A spec.
It's good, but that's not right.
Good for the time, but it's not good. It's a Deadly Premonition.
2001. I'm going to hazard a guess and go, that is not right.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
so.
absolutely right. Okay, it was nominated for Kids' Choice Award for favorite video game.
Definitely not Deadly Premonition then.
No. Kids' Choice 01. Good graphics, but dated graphics. Simpsons
Nope,
Hit and
not-
Run.
Not good graphics.
The Simpsons Hit
It-
and Run.
That's a really great game, but it's not right.
I have nothing to give on this.
I've never heard of that one.
It's a
This
first
is gonna
person
really
shooter
bug me now.
released in 2004.
Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Can I have the clue? Can I have the review again, please?
You certainly can.
Because
So
I've
the pros,
forgotten it.
and all it says is this: pros, fun gameplay, varied levels, brilliant music, good presentation for the time. Cons, it's too easy. Some graphics dated. Game, too short.
Is it Rayman 2: The Great Escape?
Lovely guess, but it's not right.
No.
Here, gentlemen, is your final clue, and this is a fastest finger first. This game was developed before its coinciding movie was released. This game was developed and published before the movie it was based on was
Is it?
released.
It's not gonna be like Tomb Raider or something, isn't it? But I can't.
No,
No.
because Angel Darkness was 2004. It was being made from like 99. Shark Tale?
No. You know
Imagine if
what?
that was the case.
It was a crazy review. That's why I put it in there. But it was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
Excellent.
which
Yes.
had to make up its own imagination of how the movie would create Hogwarts and the characters look like, because the movie wasn't released yet, but the developers had to make the game, so they made up music
Yeah.
and Hogwarts based on the books and their
Yeah.
interpretation.
Incredible.
Unreal.
So that
So
Oh,
that,
what does that
ladies and
take us to?
gentlemen,
4-3
yeah. 4-3.
asterisks.
4-3 to Luvva with an asterisk apparently.
Where's the?
We'll give me an asterisk at 3 then on that one.
It's fine. I give it.
Yeah, I'll allow it because I am a gracious, gracious host. But I think we should get back with golf with friends.
Let's do it.
That is Name That Game done with for another week. And I must say, Cardinal, absolutely dreadful work on that third review. How
You're welcome.
how would we get that? Absolutely disgraceful, so it is. But if nothing else, it's kept the Name That Game league table nice and close. But it is the first game this season that hasn't been named.
Shock.
Just give
Get
it a
out the
good
side
go,
down,
guys.
Luvva.
I can't believe they're making PlayStation 1 games in 2001, but here we are. But yes, as we last left off, I have just been done out of second place by golfing with your friends and their shoddy programming on how to reset a ball. I'm not going to call anyone out, but whoever developed this game, I'm calling you out. But anyway, I'm gracious, and I think still two
I'm
more holes.
furious.
I'm absolutely fuming, but I'm thinking to myself, do you wonder what? My skill level far surpasses that of my co-host, as I've proven in the last 7 weeks in a row. I don't know if it's been mentioned yet this episode, but I have
No.
won the last 7 in-season challenges. I mean, it's unprecedented form for Name That Game. It'll probably never be repeated. I am the Jamie Vardy of name that game. High scores, high stakes. And I'm really thirsty all of a sudden. Hold on, gentlemen, I just need to take a wee drink from my
There's-
championship cup there.
I don't like
I'm
these cups.
thirsty too.
I'm
Delicious.
going to abolish cups from now on.
Delicious. The saltiness of Tom's tears only makes my tea taste better. But anyway, right now I'm in a position I don't want to be in. But grand scheme of things, I'm only 5 strokes behind Tom, even after having 2 disasters there. I know, heart of hearts, I'm better than Tom. I know I can claw that back. I have 2 holes in which to do it, and I think the only thing left for us to do is Cardinal hit that play button, and let's see if I can claw back the most unnecessary of comebacks. We'll see, but I
He
have
is
high
hurting.
hopes.
Luvva is hurting bad.
Um,
Now, onto the penultimate hole.
Hole
Here we go.
17, and I'm starting this one by trying to look where the hole is and seeing what is the shortest route, and can I pop my ball over a wall to get close to that hole, or am I going to have to go the way everyone else is going? But yeah, this hole is a stream, and the hole is on like a boardwalk just off the stream. So the tactic is pop your ball into the stream, let the current take it to the boardwalk, and then play in an L shape to the hole, which is just up top a hill. It's not the most difficult hole in the world, but somehow I messed up my first shot and fell off the edge of the level. So
Oh,
now,
dear.
Wow.
in order for me to not fall behind further, I need to hit this in par. And here we go. I'm now on the boardwalk, nice and safe. I have one more shot to save par. Otherwise, my comeback is not going to happen.
I've had a bit of a mare trying to get up a small ramp.
Yep.
There is one thing I will say for this entire game is that we all did opt for some sort of ball customization. We all did opt
Yes.
for the white ball. So I have the cupcake with the jet stream as my motion capture.
Mhm.
Cardinal has the top hat. Luvva just has the standard golf ball. But Mr. John Sherry, in true Mr. John Sherry fashion, has bonus paid content.
Yes, of course he does.
As-
He's like a duck or something. I just want to say there that I would have made that hole in par if it wasn't for the collision, because I think it was Sherry's stupid duck popped me back out of the hole, and it cost me a further stroke. I ended up with a bogey. This is it. The last hole. The last hole is like on a fairground. It's a waterfall with a cave, and there's like a like mine carts. I suppose it is like now they're mine carts. So I know I can do this in two. So I've got one shot, line myself up absolutely perfectly. As long as those mine carts don't get me, the one under par is possible. Would you look at that, gentlemen?
Wow.
I'm finishing it in par. 3 shots right next to the pin, and I'm going to caress the ball home. That is it. I have saved par. I haven't gained any shots, but I'm looking at Sherry. He's on 5. Sherry's on 7. Tomahawk is on 6. I have finished with on par. This is going to be close finish, so it is.
No, I'm spectating Sherry at this point. So
Are
I
you?
actually finished. I finished this in 2
In
on this
2.
course. Yeah,
Excellent
so I
news.
finished in. I finished on birdie. So I've put a bit more distance. I just have to. I could put even more distance in if
Oh,
Sherry has a bit of a nightmare here.
Yeah. I can't catch Sherry, so I can't. He's too far ahead. I think he's 15 or 16 ahead of me. So even if he scratches, he's still going to finish ahead of me, which means I am resigned to the not very often
uh,
cited 4th place finish.
It
well,
is a
the
rarity.
winner is to be decided here because I am having an absolute shocker
Are you
on
still?
my 7th shot here.
You're still going. My goodness.
Yes. So I can't get on to this course at all. I can't get near the hole, and now time is against me. I've got 6 seconds left,
And he
and
goes,
I
does
Oh.
overshoot
that. Oh, and then he's going to get
the putt.
pinged. Oh dear. It's over for Cardinal. He's
Now
down to
I will
14.
say about this, the boardwalk, it seems to just skid you across, and no matter what power you put on that, it just glides you across the
Yeah.
map. It's so bizarre.
Yep. So after that disaster of Cardinal scratching on the last hole, this is the leaderboard, the final leaderboard after 18 holes on Golf with Your Friends. This is how it's finished. In 4th place with 84 over par is me. In 3rd place, 82 under par. So close. If he had a scratch, I could have caught him actually. Is Sherry. In 2nd place, an unlikely second, but second nonetheless. 76 over par is Tomahawk. And then in
Take
1st
that.
place, Cardinal Smith with 70 over par. So that means, well, we'll talk about it afterwards. We'll get this. We'll talk about the game and we'll wrap up our final thoughts on whether or not we'll play this game again. But we'll get there now. So that is it. Golf with Friends is done. The lesser spotted Luvva 4th place finish. Thank goodness I got my hole in
Blanked
one,
out.
and I got that bonus point for the hole in one. Cardinal, I think you finished with 2 hole in ones. Let's talk about that finish, Cardinal. You struggled big time.
I
Let's be
think
honest. Of all the holes we saw there, it's one of the simpler ones, isn't it?
that's what you call a good old classic choke right at the death there, where you're in the lead and you just sweat it out, get the nerves get to you, the old hands are shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd lost it because I
It's
knew I was hitting the 14 points.
it's not easy. It's not an easy game. It is good fun though. It is good fun.
And it's a really
Tomahawk,
nice game.
you pulled out an unlikely second there. You were last for the
I
longest
did, and
time.
I had resigned myself really until to nil point, to say the least. And I think just that first, as soon as you had said that you're just gonna you're just gonna not play the hole. You were gonna see out the last 30 seconds. I thought he's taking the penalty, and he doesn't realize that that's 14 strokes. And then
I didn't at all. I
that's
hadn't a
it.
clue because the message says, ran out of time, hole not finished, stroke penalty +2. That's what it says. Something along those lines. Something almost that. So I thought, you know what, I'm on 8 strokes. If I take more strokes, so it's going to add 2 on, and then it's going to push me closer to Tomahawk, where I can live with
Yeah.
10, but I can't live with
And,
anything more than 10.
and unfortunately, that what it means is you time out, so you get the maximum of 12, and then the stroke
Plus your
penalty is
2.
applied of 2.
I
But
wish it told me that.
S-
Or I
So
wish I looked at
pretty
Sherry's
much
score.
after that moment, and then I'll give you this. It's very unfortunate act of physics. and has timed you out for 2 consecutive holes. But I think at that point I was just like, look, if it's luck, take the luck and just try to not bottom out on the subsequent holes after that. And then Sherry had a bit of a wobble, so I will take a lucky second at this stage.
I mean, yes. You see, you say it was physics. I don't even know what that was. It's clearly not meant to be that way in the game because the ball should be put where it was last stationary. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. I've never seen that before in that game. I'm glad I recorded it and I have proof. So when I send, I think it's Team 17 mega game, I send them an email and there'll be that attachment and they'll be asked to explain their actions and what plan they have in place to ensure it never happens again.
It's a reasonable request.
It's very
That's
reasonable.
not too far off, yes.
You know, I'm a nice guy. We are the only gaming podcast on the internet. I believe that
Exactly.
not only do I deserve answers, but anyone who's hashtag Team Luvva also deserves answers. They ruined my streak. I cannot be Mr. 8 in a row. I'm now resigned to being Mr. 7 in a row.
Thank goodness.
I mean,
that reign of terror is over, thank the Lord.
I told my children that I was going to go 8 in a row, and they were very excited. And now the whole weekend's ruined. I'm not going to lie, that the whole season's ruined. I mean, the people expect to see Luvva top of the leaderboard. They expect to see me winning every challenge. That's what they expect. And I'm here to deliver what people expect. But now, thanks to whoever made that game,
Yeah.
Team 17, I'm going to go with again.
That's it. We've had a good run, guys. That was
they've ruined it.
47 episodes of pretty decent podcasting. I think we should call it here forever because Luvva said so.
Also,
Thanks.
Unfortunately, we just always have a variety of games of different skill sets.
nonsense. You know,
And
we don't play the
and,
same game.
Other people keep popping up. Other people keep selfishly taking points off Luvva.
Yeah, I mean, it's a disgrace. I'm going to go to the commission's office for high scores, high stakes, and see what they have to say about the matter, and see how they plan to rectify it. Obviously, the biggest star in the world in high scores, high stakes, me. I'm unhappy. You don't want your biggest star unhappy. I mean, you can have Tomahawk unhappy, you can have Sherry unhappy. Heck, we can even have Cardinal somewhat unhappy. But as a champion, his opinion has way more weight than the other
Holds the
two.
biggest, yeah.
Obviously, yeah. So we'll see what the commissioners has to say about this and how they plan to implement the fix for the season.
We don't do retrospective points here. We're not the PSR committee here.
All I will say though, all joking aside, to be fair, I can take the hit on the 14 strokes through my mistake. That's grand. I can live with that. I made a choice. It was the wrong one. That one's a wee bit harder to take, but at the end of the day, it's all fun and games, isn't it? It's all banter. What I will say though, before I ask you if we could play this game again, it's the second time in this podcast we have played golf with your friends. Me and, as you said, me and you took on Randy Raichu in a game, and we won. Randy, don't ever forget that. But also in that game, I finished last. So it's the second time I played that game, second time I finished last. Thanks very much, Golf for your friends. You've brought us some happy memories, but you never see the light of day on High Scores, High Stakes again.
That's it, because we only play games twice
Fair.
on this. We never do complete the trilogy.
But anyway, all joking aside, Cardinal, will you play this game again?
Absolutely. I don't mind. I mean, it's not one you pick up to delve into the lore and the replay value.
No.
But sure, if there's friends around, why not?
That's it. What about you, Tomahawk?
Yeah, it's very much one that sits on the external hard drive,
Yeah.
and you dip out
Yes.
into it whenever a lobby is created. You're a party sort of chat that needs to be occupied. It's fun. It does exactly what it needs to do. It's not, we did Tiger Woods last year. I think this is more fun than
It's
Tiger
way
Woods.
more fun than Tiger Woods was. Tiger Woods was a very good golf game, but it takes
It
itself,
is.
takes itself very, very, very seriously. It's very difficult as well. This game's difficult too, don't get me wrong, but it's just way more fun for all of my ranting and stuff. Yeah, I'll play it again as well. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great. It's really funny and it's really good fun, especially when things like Cardinal thinking he's getting his putt in par, and then I just ping him out of the way. It's stuff like that's
That's good.
brilliant fun. No game's perfect. This game's not perfect, but I can live with it because I like this game very, very, very much. I'll definitely play it again. But it was one of those ones we said we are going to play it. I went to download it, and it told me it was installed, and I was like, "Where's this installed?" I had never deleted it from the Randy Raichi episode. And it will go back
Very
in
good.
there, I've no doubt, to be pulled out every now and again. But yeah, golf with your friends, buggy, random, chaotic, great fun.
Good fun though.
Really
Yeah.
good fun. And dirt cheap as well. It's always on sale on Steam, especially for like £2 or £3. Well worth it. Well worth a purchase. That's our consumer advice for this week. And speaking of advice and consumers and everything else this week, I think we're done with the challenge game. Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add about it? Or shall we
We
go
just need to do our league table
league
update.
table? Of course
This
we
is
do.
exactly it. Yes.
So after
Am I still in
that,
last?
after that game of golf with your friends, the points that we've all accumulated is this. I picked up 1 point because I got a hole in one. Sherry picked up 1 point for coming third. Tom, you picked up 2 points for coming second. But Cardinal, big, big, big league swing here. You won, picking up 3 points, but you also got 2 hole in ones. So you have finished this week with 5 points. Okay, which means the league now looks like this. In fourth place with 5 points is Sherry. In third place on 7 points is Cardinal. In,
Off the bottom.
in second place with 10 points is Tomahawk. And top on 12 points is me.
Bonus point has saved you. It's made that gap. I've closed the gap, but
By a point. Yeah.
I'd have liked a 1 point gap rather than the 2 point gap. But
Well, you can't have that, can you, Tomahawk?
that's it. You can't have everything this week.
And speaking of things you can't have, I've no interest in it. Here's talk about things that we can have. The wrap up section. Let's go. That is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. Episode number 48,
Lovely.
I believe. We're getting very, very, very close to the magical number 50. Incredible scenes. Incredible scenes. But anyway, we'll recap what game we're playing.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Are
Right.
we? Oh, jeepers.
we'll-
Cherries forte.
We'll restart that part. Wait, 1, 2, 3. That is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. An absolutely devastating result for me. Cardinals over the moon. The league
Wonderful
has
result.
the league has compressed massively. My lead starts being dwindled. But yeah, all wrapped up. Episode number 48, dangerously close to number 50. Cardinal's going to do something very special for 50. Stay tuned and watch that episode. He doesn't know what it is yet. We don't know what it is yet. No one knows what it is yet. He might do nothing. We will know when episode 50 rolls around.
Looking forward to that.
Me too. I can't wait. You've been picking it up on group chat all year. You've been so looking forward to it, mate. I can't wait. So excited for it. Before we go, though, we'll tell you what game we're playing next week. And that game is another returning game. Originally featured in our Grudge Chip side quest from season 2. It is Fall Guys. When you talk about random games, Fall
Nice.
Guys is totally random. Can't wait for it. It's going to be good fun. Hopefully we all can't finish in the same position because we'll be able to get a lobby with one another. So it will be competitive. I expect underhanded tactics to come out. I say we all gang up on Tomahawk.
Says the retaining champ.
Cardinal, I'll private message you, not in the group chat.
Sure,
All right,
sure.
yeah,
Cool.
we'll discuss what's going on after Tom blew the lid on you and him having practice rounds on golf with friends. But anyway,
Tom
yes.
was smashing me in that practice round, by the way.
What about
He
golf?
was,
Yo.
and the golfer's score was much better than mine.
Right, so a quick recap of where everyone can find us on the internet. The easiest place to find us is on highscoreshighstakes.com. You'll find links to Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. If you want to go to Discord and take part in our Helldivers server, or if you want to throw in your scores for any challenge that we have done, just go into the description and click the link at the very, very bottom of it. It'll bring you straight there. Sign up, throw your PSN or your Steam ID into the Helldivers, and let's play together. Let's spread some managed democracy. Let's take down those Terminids and those automatons. They're getting too big for their boots, and democracy must squash them once more. But yes, Last thing then is let's do our question of the week. Now, the question of the week is not to do with golf. It's not to do with sports games. It's something a wee bit more specific to that. So you just saw me getting absolutely cheated of points, hard-earned points by a bug. So question of the week this week is, have you ever been done out of a victory, or have you ever been cheated in a game by a bug? If you have, tell me about it. I want to hear
I
about
have a
it.
great one for this. I have a great one lined up for this one.
I have a great one as well, but we'll talk about them next week when we get some listener answers. And our poll of the week is very, very simple. 2 options this week. Have I been robbed from points? Yes or no? So if you want to answer, just open the description and the poll will be just right there, and the question of the week. I'm really, really interested to hear if anyone has been cheated in any games by a bug, or if they've been unable to progress in a game because of a bug. Tell me your bug stories, and no, hell divers getting killed by a literal bug does not count. Although, write that in because it is funny. If you have a video showing it, even better. Link us up and we'll watch it. But with all that being said, the last 2 things we have to say is I've been Mr. Luvva Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. We'll see you Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Cheerio.
You said Kennedy or something like that.
Mr. Kennedy. That's all he fucking says.
Kennedy. This is my right-hand man. Your right hand comes off? Great line.
That's it. Leon's line delivery is so good in this.
So good, man. So good. I'm pretty sure it's the same fella who
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.
It's the same guy.
Back in the podcast. Back
It's
in the podcast.
the fella-
Refocus. Stop talking about Resident Evil 4.
This is an important piece of
Stop
information.
talking about Resident Evil 4. It's okay.